There's a whole lot of new releases, but none of it actually feels new, and some of it is a little controversial. Let's talk about how Dior's $40 lip balms are sparking some outrage, Glossier's mostly clear glosses are getting roasted, and yet another brand apology. Are we surprised? Today we are gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna share with you all of the high-end beauty drops of the week. Then I'll give you the tea on what people are saying and which ones are actually worth the splurge. And of course, I'm gonna share my hot takes and opinions along the way. So before you add to cart, we're gonna talk it out in this week's beauty critiques. That is officially what I'm calling this, yes. Let's start off with the hot topic of the day. Yet another apology from a brand, unfortunately. Tower 28 launched their new SOS Guard sunscreen just in time for the summer. It's marketed as a non-greasy mineral SPF 30 made for sensitive skin, won't break you out, burn your eyes, or even leave a white cast, which are some very strong claims for sunscreen, because apparently it does leave a white cast. It does. Spoiler, Dr. Julian Sass, a cosmetic scientist on TikTok, posted this video where he states,
"They have really hammered in throughout this entire campaign that this product has no white cast. And it's even on the PR box, right there, clear as day. But here's the thing. White cast-free mineral sunscreens don't exist. They will never exist. You have to apply a half a teaspoon for your face, your ears, and your neck. Most of their marketing materials, those people are not doing that. It's that small swatch on the cheek or just generally under applying. You need roughly half a teaspoon of product in order to get the protection on the label. And the part that frustrates me is that some black girl is gonna see all the advertising about this product and say, oh my God, they said it had no white cast. They're gonna buy it, they're gonna use it, and then they're gonna end up looking like this. The texture is quite nice. The finish feels quite lovely. It's not super greasy, it's not super heavy. But marketing this as no white cast in 2025 is so disappointing.
And in this video, you can clearly see that there is a dramatic white cast on his skin. There's no denying it, and it does not look like it's going to fade into his skin anytime soon. And just off of a short search on TikTok, there are several other creators that posted their non-sponsored review on the product showing a white cast on their skin. Tower 28 posted on Instagram, "To our community, I wanted to reach out personally and thank you for the feedback we've received around the new SOS Face Guard SPF 30. I read your messages and seen your posts, especially from those with deeper skin tones who've shared that the formula left a white cast. I appreciate you more than you know for being honest and holding us to a high standard. Despite our best efforts in testing, the truth is we missed the mark. We described it inaccurately, saying it had no white cast and called it a universal tint, which was misleading. That was a mistake, and I take full responsibility. I'm sorry." And as a note, this was written by their founder and CEO, Amy Liu. "We're updating our marketing materials to remove no white cast and universal tint. We're working on a second version of the SOS Face Guard SPF 30 designed to better serve deeper skin tones. We're enhancing our testing approach to standardize use across participants. We'll continue collaborating with beauty experts and cosmetic scientists to make sure our future products truly reflect the diverse community we serve. This brand was built on the idea of being a safe space for everyone. We're going to keep showing up, keep listening, and keep doing the work. Thank you for being in this with us." And the comments were, of course, mixed. I feel like they're always mixed when it comes to apology posts. Someone said, "I appreciate this, especially as a longtime fan of you guys. However, I can't help but still feel disappointed because respectfully, there's no reason this should have happened in 2025. You have a large community of not just customers, but content creators with brown and dark skin who actively share SPF reviews and content around inclusivity who I think should have been included before launching. I know many of us would have been down for this. As a brown skin consumer, I did not feel included in this launch or development process at all, and it shows in the marketing. This felt very deceptive, exclusionary, and that's not something I ever wanted to feel from you. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you'll not only reformulate, but also include more black and brown voices in your R&D process." And another comment said, "I appreciate the effort, but I can't ignore how absent black voices seem to have been throughout this product's development and launch. How is this still happening in 2025? And why is now suddenly the time to bring in experts? Calling your claims misleading when they're just wrong feels disingenuous. As a makeup artist with majority black clients and a longtime Tower 28 fan, I'm genuinely disappointed. This raises real concerns for me about the internal processes that failed Black consumers at every step. Is this still a brand I can confidently recommend? On the other hand, there were comments that appreciated the apology. They said, this is how you do it. Other companies take notes. Thank you for leading by example. So obviously the biggest issue here is inclusivity and diversity in the testing process. They weren't very clear in what their testing process looks like. They said that they were going to enhance our testing approach to standardize use across participants. So that's not necessarily saying they didn't include deeper skin tones in their process, but it's also not saying that they did. To me, I don't think it makes sense to have marketed a product as universal if you hadn't tested it on a variety of skin tones. The issue is the amount of sunscreen that was being tested on each person. That being said, from my experience with mineral sunscreens, I have never been able to find one that leaves no white casts. There have been some that leave less white cast than others, but unless it's a tinted mineral sunscreen, never found one that leaves no white cast. So I'm just wondering where the missing link was here. I don't understand why brands are over promising their product in marketing. Like, I get it. You want your product to sound good, but you don't have to overdo it to the point where now you're just lying. Now, I will say, just to end it on a more positive note, they did catch this issue fairly quickly and they responded very quickly as well. Enough about that. We're gonna move on to, oh gosh, another controversial launch. Dior has a few new launches that is, as expected, overpriced. The first launch is a $40 lip balm. Of course there is. This is supposed to be a hybrid between a balm and a gloss. As if we don't have enough of those, providing hydration and high shine, coming in 5 different shades. Dior has also taken their viral Rosy Go blush and turned it into a creamy stick. This still has a pH reactive formula to give you a custom flush, but now with a creamy texture and a dewy finish. It comes in 7 shades for $44. And lastly, the classic Dior powder blush is back with an improved formula at $40. It claims to be more pigmented and buildable, still featuring that pH reactive glow. Now, the opinions on Dior's new launches are kind of mixed. Most people are really loving the blush sticks, but others are hating on these $40 lip balms. Someone said, without the charm, it looks like a $2 product. This looks like it should be $5 max. It costs 91 cents to make. But on the opposite end of things, people are really liking the blush. They said, this is the first Dior blush I've been tempted to buy. It actually has visible pigment, but for the price, I'd rather go with House Labs or Rhode. OMG, I need it. Where do you fall on the scale of opinions? Do you think that these products are worth the $40 or are they overhyped? Then we have a launch from another luxury brand, Charlotte Tilbury. She is releasing, or has released, a double-ended lip pencil designed to sculpt and fill for a fuller, more defined pout. One end features a darker shade to contour, while the other has a lighter shade to fill. It's available in 4 shades, priced at $26. Then Tarte is releasing their Marcauja Juicy Transfer Proof Lip Stain, which is a long-wearing lip tint for transfer-proof color, available in only 2 shades for $27. And Glossier also recently launched their lip glaze for $22. This is a lightweight lip oil that gives you shine and hydration without feeling sticky. There are 6 shades to choose from. Now, Glossier is getting completely roasted for this launch on TikTok, and not in a quiet way either. There was this one video that went viral for making fun of all of the shades being basically clear. And the comment section is just making fun of them for launching a full collection of basically nothing. But not everyone hates it. Some fans are actually defending the barely there vibe, saying, I love Glossier so bad for this reason exactly. It's barely anything, so you can never go wrong. They're so sheer, but after using them religiously, I started loving my natural features way more than I did with heavy makeup. But other people are making jokes, okay? Someone said, pigment of your imagination. I call Glossier play makeup. LMAO. Oof. I'm honestly tired of all of the glosses. Bring back lipstick and pretty colors. So where do you stand? Are you a hater of the clear lip gloss collections? Because personally for me, if it's clear, it's a skip. I've said that before. Give me at least like a creamy colored lip gloss with some pigment in it. Make it different. Ooh, and Trend Mood just gave us a sneak peek of Rare Beauty's new Positive Brilliant Light Lip Gloss. Yeah, we're not done with the lip glosses. There's more coming. They haven't shared a launch date yet, but these glosses are supposed to give you a high shine, lightweight, non-sticky finish. But I'm not really seeing what the unique selling point is here, and hopefully it's not a whole range of clear. Then we have a new launch from SuperGoop, their Glow Gloss. Their Glow Gloss with SPF 40 is basically a glossy lip balm that gives you shine while protecting your lips from the sun for $22. And the biggest selling point of this product is that it's not supposed to have that classic sunscreen taste that everybody hates. Now, I actually realized I've never bought a sunscreen lip balm before, which I feel like is necessary. So I'm gonna have to test that out and see if traditional sunscreen lip balms taste like sunscreen. But anyways, back to the SuperGoop. Not everyone seems to agree that this doesn't taste like sunscreen. And one TikTok someone said, I just returned mine. At first it smelled and tasted normal, but a minute in, straight up sunscreen, and I hated it. Others had a totally different take. Someone said they don't taste bad, smells a little weird, but no weird taste at all. At this point, I don't really know who to trust. This is why I hate reviews sometimes. I need give me background, give me context. And then lastly, in the lip product category this week is Glow Recipe's Glass Balm. This is a super shiny lip balm that gives you hydration for up to 12 hours. Comes in 4 sheer shades inspired by Korean desserts for $22. And you would think that people would be very excited about this because Glow Recipe is what I would consider to be one of TikTok's favorite brands because their products are just aesthetically pleasing and they're used in a lot of get ready with me videos. But this product, I actually felt satisfied to see that people were agreeing with my thoughts because when I looked at this, I was like, what's going on here? Nothing about this feels Glow Recipe. It's just basic.
I did not expect this, but this review might be a little messy. Welcome back to another brutally honest review, and today we're reviewing the brand new lip balms from Glow Recipe. Moment of truth. Okay, they definitely looked grainy coming out. I don't know if that was showing up on camera, but on my lips, it's just a nice balmy feeling. I do not feel any graininess whatsoever. Here is how Strawberry Bingsu looks on my lips. So pretty, and I definitely see the glossiness and the sheer tint there. This isn't a super thick balm, but it's balmy enough to be really nice and moisturizing. This is definitely something that I will be keeping in my bag. So let me know if you want to see all these other shades tried on because I honestly really like these so far.
Some of the comments said, something about the packaging hurts my brain. Do we really need more lip balms? At this point, they're kind of showing up late to the party. Yeah, they're not getting their usual excitement for this release, and I do think that it's because of the packaging. Because Glow Recipe, I think their biggest selling point is their packaging, and they really missed with this one. If they made it in any of their other cool known shapes somehow or made it somewhat special, I'm thinking Gisu, and they didn't cheap out on that, I think people would just jump on it for the packaging. So I spoke a little bit too soon because when you go on the Glow Recipe TikTok page, the comments are actually the exact opposite. Okay, we're gonna move on to my rapid fire hot takes. This is what I think about all of the lip product launches. Like I said earlier, there are so many lip launches at this point. What is making you special? All of them feel the same and nothing has a unique selling point. I think the only thing that has a unique selling point was the SuperGoop because it has sunscreen. I understand that it's part of the industry to launch what is trending, but if something is $40, you're gonna have to give me a little bit more. With that said, Dior, I am not paying $40 for your lip balm, so that is a skip. Now this one is actually very exciting to me. I agree with a lot of the other people talking and commenting about it that it seems intriguing, mainly because first of all, I do like the packaging. The packaging feels like Dior. It looks like the lip balm but in a bigger form, and I know a lot of you know that I hate dewy glowy blushes, so this is something that would usually, you know, make me run away and say heck no. However, my skin has been more clear over the past 6 months, and there are some glowy products that with strategic placement I do like on my face, and I felt like this Dior product might be it. But what got me to not check out, because this was in my cart, I just couldn't choose a shade, to be honest, and I didn't want to buy multiple shades. So I'm gonna wait to see it in person. If the shade I want is sold out, so be it. And if I realize I don't like the formula in person, then I just won't buy it. I do love my Charlotte Tilbury Foxy Brown lip liner, so I am intrigued by this lip liner duo, but I did see a video where someone was trying it out and they said that both ends are so similar that it kind of feels pointless. So I'm gonna have to check that out for myself in person. I don't think I'm like running for it or feel like it's really anything that special. That's just something in the back of my mind that like if there is a shade I like, I might purchase it in the future, maybe wait for a sale kind of situation. Now for Tarte, I do love a good lip stain right now, especially in the summertime. I don't wear it on camera, but in person I'm not really wearing a lot of makeup, so I'm always putting on a lip stain. I like the idea of this and it looks really nice, but they have 2 shades and it's also $27 when I could just stick with K-Beauty. So no thanks. Now for Rare Beauty, I think that the sneak peek isn't doing it for me personally. I need more videos and photos, so I'm just not gonna jump to conclusions. As of what I'm seeing right now, I'm not interested at all. Okay, let's move on to the cheek product launches of the week, and we don't have that many this time around. First of all is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Blurring Bronzer. This is a $38 powder bronzer that's supposed to give you a soft focus blurring effect. We also have a launch from Hourglass. They are finally offering a customizable palette where you can mix and match your favorite powders, blushes, and bronzers for $78. Oof, that's kind of high. Overall, I am very happy we're taking a bit of a break from all of the powder blush launches. I have too many and I've purchased too many, and I'm gonna do a video about all of them. With that being said, for the Makeup by Mario powder bronzer, this looks like something up my alley. What I like about Makeup by Mario is that he is not trying to do the most. Like, he's not trying to like create a viral product for the sake of having a viral product. He's just trying to launch products that are staples. Like, I'm thinking MAC Cosmetics here, and this powder bronzer looks like it would be a great staple. Do I need it? No. But am I curious enough to try it out? Yeah. Maybe in the future I will make that purchase. I do want to see it in person. I'm assuming it's a very like powdery blurring formula, and that is everything I love in a product. Now as for the Hourglass customizable palettes, they're a little too late for me. I'm so happy that now that option is available for those of you who have never tried Hourglass. I do think that this is a lot more reasonable, because face palettes where you don't get to choose the colors you like are always, I don't want to say are always a waste of money, but can be a huge waste of money if you only like 1 or 2 shades. So now this gives you the option to actually choose what's going to work for you. But for me, why did it take them so long? At this point, I've already tried their limited edition palettes. I own them, I like them, and I don't feel the desire or need to customize my own palette now. Maybe in the future when I'm done with the limited edition palettes I own. Let's move on to the next big category, which is complexion. One Size just dropped a new setting spray called the Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray. It's $34 and designed to melt your powders into the skin for that smooth, glassy finish and extend wear for up to 12 hours. Then another setting spray launch from McGrath. This is supposed to lock your makeup in place with a lightweight hydrating mist for $38. It helps keep everything looking fresh all day without anything sticky or heavy. I have seen videos of this so far and it looks stunning. Honestly, it scared me away for a little bit because, you know, I'm don't like anything super glossy or glowy. But from what these early testers and reviewers are showing, it looks not greasy or oily. It looks very fresh and glowy in a tasteful way. And then we have a setting spray from Kosas. This is their Cloud Set Mist, made to smooth and blur skin while setting your makeup. For $36, you'll get a lightweight spray that gives you a soft focus finish that feels breathable. I mean, I don't think any setting spray has ever not breathable on my skin. Aside from setting spray, we have Makeup Forever's Artist Color Crayons launching for $33 that are supposed to be super versatile. It's a high pigment color crayon with waterproof blendable formula available in shimmery and semi-matte finishes. There's going to be blush versions and technically bronzer contour versions. And the last launch is Merit's Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 45. Now this is supposed to be lightweight and give you buildable coverage and a natural finish. It comes in 15 shades for $38. Now I've had terrible luck with tinted sunscreen, so this is going to be a skip for me. But what I will note here is that it's a mineral sunscreen, like what Tower 28 made, but they created it as a tinted mineral sunscreen so that it works on more skin tones. I'm wondering if that's how Tower 28 is going to fix their mistake. I do expect way more tinted sunscreen launches and sunscreen launches throughout the summer. This is just the time of year for it. It makes sense to launch it. So if you are interested in the Merit, maybe wait to see what else launches so that you can actually get good comparisons between all of them. But honestly, I am very excited for all of the other launches. I know that there is an overload of setting sprays launching, and unlike the feeling of all of the launches of lip products, I feel less annoyed about the launches of setting sprays. And I think that's just because we've been getting lip product launches thrown at us for years. While I feel like this is like the beginning phase of new setting sprays coming out, and I like it because I do think setting sprays make a big difference in the longevity of my makeup. So the one size I'm excited for, even though it's more probably glowy, I like the idea that it melts your makeup together, which is something that I do with the Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm wondering how that compares. The Kosas setting spray looks like something that reminds me of the new Huda Beauty one that's supposed to like soften and mattify your skin. Kosas is a brand that I feel like is a hit or miss, and I haven't yet built trust with it. So personally, I don't know if I would buy this. If I did, it would only be to test. And as for the Makeup Forever sticks, I was very excited about these at first, but I've seen some mixed reviews. Some people like them, and some people actually say they're difficult to blend. So I can't jump to conclusions. It would be something I have to test out on my hand in person and decide for myself, because what I like about the Makeup Forever sticks is that they're marketed as waterproof long wear, and a lot of cream products usually aren't. So it seems like the trend of product launches are going to be setting sprays. I'm sure we're going to see more tinted sunscreen and sunscreens, and I'm hoping that if we do get more lip balm launches or lip gloss launches, they're products with sunscreen in them, at least make them a little bit different. As always, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Let me know what you're tempted to buy and what you're skipping, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!